Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back, and now it's 6:30 on WKYT News. A Lexington home is badly damaged in an early morning fire. You'll hear from a neighbor who rushed to check on the family. Coming up in a live report.
A shooting on UK's campus wrapped up a weekend of gun violence in Lexington.
And we have several traffic alerts to tell you about this morning before you head out the door. Where you're going, there may be a change. Well, of those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning to you. Welcome in. Sure hope you had a great weekend. Enjoyed that Wildcat win. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Also hope you enjoyed that weather, because next weekend, which is far out away, but, you know, not looking the same.
Looks like a big change.
Yeah.
Cool air moving in. It's September 29th. We're heading into October, and so I guess it kind of flips with the calendar. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You know as well as I do, this time of year here in Kentucky, don't put away any clothes just yet. Just kind of keep at least a jacket or a sweater handy, because you know you'll get those cool blasts and also some warm air here and there. So, yeah, outside right now, mild conditions. We're in the 60s. We go toward the afternoon right there around 80 degrees. That slight chance of rain is mainly for the east and southeast. I don't see much of a chance anywhere else. And then we go throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. We do it all over again. It's the same day, or same weather, I should say, just a different day. Now, going in toward the weekend, like I said, enjoy those dry and also warm days now. As we go toward that weekend, those coats will be pulled back out, and you will need them as we see 30s in our forecast. I'll show you when that fall is coming up.
Okay, see you in a bit. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
New on WKYT This Morning, a family's all right, but their home is badly damaged after an early morning fire.
It started about 3 o'clock this morning on Vale Drive. That's off Harrodsburg Road, very near the Jessamine County line. More than a dozen crews are still on the scene. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is there live as well, tracking the investigation. She's spoken with some folks involved. Good morning.
Yeah, this was a very challenging fire to get under control. You can see behind me that firefighters are right now sifting through debris, trying to salvage what items they can. We've watched them get a few things out and bring them over to a neighbor's home. The fire itself first started before 3 this morning at this home on Vale Drive, and as you can tell from this video, there is a lot of damage to this home. Firefighters aren't sure where the fire started, but flames spread to the garage and the attic. They even had to bring in extra crews for more manpower because many of the firefighters were getting fatigued. Now, we don't know how many people were actually inside the home when the fire first broke out, but firefighters tell us the people who live inside are the ones who called 911 and reported the fire. They believe there were some children living inside the home, but everyone was able to get out safely. Listen to this neighbor who woke up to the sound of fire trucks.
I thought to myself, are they all out of the house? Is everybody out? They have quite a few kids over there, and I was wondering if the children were all out. They were all real sweet kids, and I see them go up and down here on rollerblades all the time, and I was so glad everybody was out.
Now, at this point, no injuries have been reported. Firefighters tell me they'll likely be here until the daylight hours. Again, investigators still on scene here trying to figure out where this fire started. We're live in Lexington. Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
All right, Whitney, thank you very much. And also new on WKYT this morning, several businesses have been damaged after an overnight fire in southeastern Kentucky. Firefighters in Williamsburg say the fire started in the Williamsburg Flower Shop in the Masonic Lodge building on Main Street. They were able to quickly knock the fire down, but smoke has damaged several of the stores and occupants of that building. The electricity is now shut off to the entire building, and the State Fire Marshal's office is expected on scene this morning to look over the damage there.
The all clear has been given at the University of Kentucky after a late night shooting on campus. It's the latest in a string of gun violence in Lexington over the weekend. WKYT's Mark Barber is live on campus tracking the crime alert.
Good morning, Rebecca. Students here on UK South Campus were told to stay inside their dorm rooms while police and canines searched for the shooter. Now, investigators started their search here at the Kerwin and Blanding complex after students reported hearing 1 to 3 gunshots behind a dorm. Witnesses told police around 10 o'clock last night they heard gunfire coming from a group of 4 to 8 men wearing all black. We're told after the shots were fired, the group scattered in 2 different directions. That's when UK police and Lexington police started searching a nearby construction site for the men.
It's a good partnership between the Lexington Police and UK Police. We came together very quickly and partnered up, as well as we brought dogs from both agencies out very quickly.
Now, they say they did not find anything, so they gave the students the all clear around midnight. They say at this point they are trying to track down that group of men by reviewing security footage of the night. Now, the good news this morning, according to police, is that no injuries were reported. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A Kentucky woman's been indicted, accused of intentionally exposing people to hepatitis C. Tiffany Myers was arrested earlier this month after police say she removed an IV while at the Knox County Hospital. Police say she purposefully slung her infected blood across the room, exposing officers and medical staff. One nurse said the blood actually landed in her eye.
President Obama now acknowledges that U.S. intelligence agencies missed the mark in their assessment of the situation in Iraq. The president says they underestimated the threat from Islamic State militants and overstated the ability and will of Iraq's army to fight. In an interview with 60 Minutes, Obama told CBS the militants who had gone underground after being squashed were able to reconstitute themselves amid the chaos of Syria's civil war.
I think our head of the intelligence community, Jim Clapper, has acknowledged that I think they underestimated what had been taking place in Syria.
The president insists he will not put American combat troops on the ground to secure the region, but House Speaker John Boehner says if allies or local forces can't get the job done, the U.S. may have no choice in that. The FAA expects improvements today in air travel through Chicago's two major airports. It's replacing the entire central computer network at the Chicago Area Control Center, where an act of sabotage Friday canceled more than 2,000 flights through the Windy City and disrupted air travel nationwide, including here in Lexington at Bluegrass Airport. Two 6 a.m. flights from Lexington to Chicago were canceled this morning, along with two arrivals slated in from Chicago.
In Ferguson, Missouri, the search continues for the person who shot a police officer in the arm. The St. Louis County Police Chief says the officer was shot when he interrupted a burglary in progress. The injured officer is expected to survive. Police do not think the incident is related to Michael Brown. Since August 9th, there have been nightly protests in Ferguson after an officer shot and killed an unarmed black teenager. Well, including 5 more bodies found, officials say there are still 24 near the summit of an erupting Japanese volcano. The total presumed death toll is now at 36 as toxic gases and ash keep rescue workers from resuming efforts to recover the victims on the mountain. A dozen bodies have been recovered in that. Well, 2 central Kentucky towns could become one if a referendum is passed in Estill County. There is a proposal to merge the towns of Ravenna and Irvin. The 2 towns share a border and Kentucky 52. Leaders say the move could benefit everyone in both towns, but they say everything needs to be considered.
I have pros and cons. It can be good one way, and then I really don't know, so it's pros and cons.
Mayor Tipton says the topic has come up in conversation before, but this is the first time it's been on the ballot. If the voters in both towns approve the merger, the governments in each town will keep operating independently for about a year.
Now 6:38 on WKYT this morning, and here we are days after a water main break in Lexington, and repairs are still being made at the site. This is a live look at Nicholasville Road near Shady Lane this morning, and from 8 until 4 today, the outbound right lane will be blocked at that location. It will be the case through Wednesday. On Friday, a water main break forced crews to block that lane. Water could be seen gushing out into the street. A different water main break on nearby Rosemont Garden damaged several homes. And starting at 7 this morning, just a few minutes from now, in downtown Richmond, US 25 will be blocked in both directions. That's Main Street between Collins Street and Madison Avenue. Crews will be doing underground utility work. Again, Main Street in Richmond will be closed in that area for several weeks until October 24th. And again, that closure is just a few minutes away from right now at 7 o'clock. 6:30. 6:39 is the time, and let's check live drive traffic, see what issues we may have this morning. As we take a look outside right now, we'll try to get a live camera up there for you on the interstate, and there it is at I-75 and I-64 at the split this morning. We have no reports of any major problems. We've told you about some of those issues that are ongoing, including the repair work that will be done on Nicholasville Road today on that outbound lane, and they'll try to do that in the middle of the day and minimize the impact. And then, of course, Keeneland opens up on Friday, so sort of begin to prepare for that heavier than usual traffic out along Versailles Road as we get deep in the week. More news coming up from WKYT this morning. Good to have you along. We're back in a moment.
May the force be with you. We'll take you inside a school that's training students to be Jedis.
And we're looking outside in the 60s, a couple of 50s sprinkled in here and there. It's not really that cool. It actually feels quite nice. Next few days look good, but it's that late week and off into the weekend we'll really discuss, break down this cold blast coming our way next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris and First Alert Defender.
I like the mild feel outside. This weekend was beautiful, and it looks like we're going to continue on for today. There has been a few showers, really down to the far south and southeastern zones. We do have a couple if you go to the north there and work your way up towards, say, that Bracken County, Mason County area, and also off toward Lewis County, too. So all in all, there's not much rain and even a few sprinkles down toward the Hatfield area there in Pike County. But for the most part, we're staying nice and dry, and also pretty decent temperatures too. So the mild feel is just going to continue as we go throughout the day. 80 degrees by the afternoon. Mixture of sun and clouds for most. I would say about 80% of us stay dry. You go down toward the southeast, that's where your better opportunity to actually see a few sprinkles, maybe a couple of showers here and there. For the most part, we stay dry. Go in overnight and into tomorrow morning. Another good-looking start, pleasant start. Nothing's really changing. So kicking off your work week, we'll have that small rain chance to the southeast. The rest of us dry and warm throughout the week. Much of the week, I should say, because once we hit that Friday time frame, that's when this blast of cool air comes flowing in. It'll feel cool there on Friday. Rain chance will be there. We're talking about 60% chance of rain there toward the end of the work week. But it's Saturday and Sunday that you're really going to feel it. The warm air's in place, no doubt about it, through much of the week. There's Thursday. Watch Friday. That front comes barreling on in, the cool air back behind that. And then look at some cold air. And when I say cold air, I'm talking close to freezing. That's just going to be just to the north of us. And that blast of cold air comes flying on in. You know as well as I do, if you live around the state of Kentucky, you know, do not put away or put away your warm clothes before we hit fall, and don't bring out or really keep all your cold clothes off into the closet until we, get through everything that's going on there and that transition into fall. You'll need those coats to be handy because it's going to be chilly. Upper 50s, lower 60s for the weekend. Incredible. Check out these pictures. I like to save the best for last. And this picked it off my Facebook page. Got about 30 or 40 pictures over the weekend. And these two are the best. I'm about to show you another one. Alexander Cox out of Whitley County. Beautiful, beautiful shot there. And check out this picture. Now, this is cool. I'm going to step back on screen actually to show you this. Look at the sun dogs right here. Whenever you see that, a lot of people say, yeah, it's a little rainbow around the sun. Those are sun dogs, all right? So it's right there exactly at the right and left of that sunshine. 7-day forecast, there is your look. 80s as we hit the afternoon next few days and staying dry. Fridays when that rain moves on in. Saturday and Sunday, look at the screen if you're not looking at it right now. 39 degrees overnight Saturday night into Sunday. It's incredible. Still 6-7 days away. We'll see how it turns out. 100% bank on that cool air coming in, but we'll see what the numbers actually come out to as we hit Saturday.
We'll see how low we go, right?
Oh, my goodness. Chilly air.
Glad I haven't packed those sweaters away just yet.
Yeah, there you go. Get ready. 6:46 is the time.
15-year-old Pablo Soto from Chile regularly hits the gym, but it isn't boxing or running that he does during his workouts.
Dressed in a tunic and armed with a makeshift sword, he's here to train as a Jedi. This is Chile's only school for Jedis. It's where the instructor teaches students to harness the Force through meditation, martial arts, and, of course, lightsaber combat. The school was set up 5 years ago. So far, it's trained 20 students in the Jedi arts. Just so you know.
All right. I'm sure a lot of folks would be jumping at the chance to do that.
Taking opportunities. Okay, I can run with it. 6:47 on WKYT this morning. We're back with our top stories in just a bit.
We have a lot more news. Stay with us.
I'm Nora O'Donnell. Coming up, Congressman Paul Ryan returns to Studio 57, the former VP nominee on the midterms, the state of the conservative movement, and 2016. That's coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, downtown Lexington coming to life there at the Centerpoint construction site. It's 6:50 on WKYT.
This morning, we're tracking the investigation into an early morning fire that forced a Lexington family from their home.
The scene is on Vale Drive. That's near the Jessamine County line off Harrodsburg. Now, this is a live look at the home this morning where the cleanup is underway at this point. Firefighters are still trying to figure out how it all started. About 3 o'clock this morning, smoke and flames started to pour out of the home. It took a few hours and extra manpower being brought in before crews could finally get the flames under control. All the commotion, of course, woke up a lot of neighbors.
My bedroom is directly across from theirs, and I heard the popping sound, and I thought somebody was hitting my garage door. And I jumped up and ran to my window, and I saw this house just ablaze with fire.
Firefighters say a family was inside the home when it started, but they managed to get out and no one was hurt.
Well, police have given the all clear at UK after students reported hearing gunshots outside a dormitory. Investigators started searching for a group of men after students heard gunfire near the Kerwin and Blanding complex at about 10 last night. After a 2-hour search, police gave the all clear. No injuries have been reported. Well, the shooting on campus was the 5th in Lexington just over the past weekend. On Friday night, a man was critically injured when he was shot on Bainbridge Court. 2 hours later, another man was shot on Charles Avenue. And early Saturday morning, Lexington police say a man was shot near Jazzy G's on Georgetown Street. On Sunday morning, police say about 15 shots on Georgetown Road damaged several cars and sent a BCTC student to the hospital. No arrests have been made in any of these cases.
President Obama now says U.S. intelligence missed the mark when it assessed the threat that ISIS poses to Iraq and Syria.
He made the acknowledgement in an interview that aired on 60 Minutes Sunday. Susan McGinnis has more from Washington.
President Obama admits U.S. intelligence underestimated the threat from ISIS.
During the chaos of the Syrian civil war, where essentially you have huge swaths of the country that are completely ungoverned, they were able to reconstitute themselves and take advantage of that chaos and attract foreign fighters.
In an exclusive interview with 60 Minutes, the president also said the U.S. overestimated the Iraqi army's ability and will to fight.
The Iraqis have to be willing to fight, and they have to be willing to fight in a non-sectarian way, Shia, Sunni, and Kurd alongside each other against this cancer in their midst.
The U.S. has been bombarding ISIS targets in Iraq with airstrikes since early August. It began hitting locations in Syria almost a week ago with a coalition of international partners. President Obama insists he will not put American combat troops on the ground to secure the region. But House Speaker John Boehner says if allies or local forces can't get the job done, the U.S. may have no choice.
These are barbarians. They intend to kill us. And if we don't destroy them first, we're going to pay the price.
The president says beyond military might, there needs to be a political solution. Susan McGinnis, CBS News, Washington.
And on Sunday, U.S.-led coalition airstrikes hit an oil refinery held by ISIS in northern Syria near the Turkish border.
It is now 6:53. You can always keep up with what's happening on WKYT.com, continuing to track down information about the shots fired on UK's campus last night and about this overnight fire as well this morning that has happened off of Harrodsburg Road. We'll continue to get additional details from the UK situation. The all clear has now been given after a group of men fired shots near the Kerwin Blanding complex last night. And it comes after a weekend of gun violence in Lexington, at least 4 instances of shots being fired in different parts of the city. More nice fall weather on tap for today and tomorrow. Micah says later in the week, though, we'll get a big blast of really chilly air. Those highs and lows will really be coming down. Check our First Alert weather page for the heads up on that situation. A lot of excitement after Kentucky broke its long losing streak in the SEC by beating Vandy Saturday at Commonwealth, and the defense played a big role in that win. We have more info about the game as the Cats are set set now to take on South Carolina this Saturday in another big home game. And over on Kentucky.com, as you see, John Clay says Steve Spurrier's team looks beatable heading into this game. Also, the longtime chancellor of the UK Med Center, Peter Bosworth, has died at the age of 84. And Jack Brammer looks at some of these competitive state Senate races across Kentucky. Richmond Register looks at the forum in a hard-fought race for Madison County Judge Executive that was held. Richmond City candidates will be facing off tomorrow evening, by the way, the Richmond Register with that. And then CBS This Morning will be following us with world and national news and, of course, our local updates coming up at 7. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
What's between Versailles Road and Harrodsburg Road, one lane of the outer loop of New Circle is blocked right now because of that crash. No one's hurt, but expect delays. Now back to you.
And we're looking outside. There's Live Sky camera, and we're holding on to a good flow there on the interstates, highways, byways, and you heard from Officer Don. We're looking pretty good to go for most part. Current temperature sitting there in the 50s and 60s. Actually feels pretty nice. Just kind of a mild start. So the kids heading out to the bus stop, I don't think they'll need a coat for today. Definitely not toward the afternoon, as we're sitting there right around 80 degrees. There is a slight chance of rain, and that's mainly going to be confined down toward the southeastern zones. So just like this weekend, the weekend was great, but just like this weekend, we're holding on to 80 degrees by the afternoon, and also sitting there with that slight chance of rain. Let's check out your 7-day forecast, and we're going to go through this real quick. As we go through the next couple of days, holding on to dry conditions, lower 80s. So you can see that cool air is not here anytime soon, and we're going to be seeing, look at the bottom of that screen over there, tracking late week cold blasts. Yeah, wait for these numbers. 72 Friday. That's when some sloppy weather moves on in. Saturday and Sunday sitting there in the 60s. We may even have some upper 50s for highs there on Saturday. And your overnight low at 39 degrees Saturday night into Sunday morning. Like I've said all morning long, bank on it that you will have a cold blast toward the weekend. But depending on, how much cold air flows in here will depend on those numbers. So we'll see how they change.
A cool start to the
no doubt
fall
about
meet at Keeneland.
That's right. That's true.
It'll be starting Friday, and it looks pretty cool over the weekend.
There you go.
All right, nobody's more up to date than you to start your day because you chose WKYT for your morning news, and we sure appreciate it.
CBS This Morning is next. Have an awesome Monday.